Boom! What's up, Waves Capital? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin. We'll talk about Riot Blockchain. We'll be talking about a few stocks that I'm personally excited about as we head into the new year of 2023. And we'll also be touching briefly on what is called the January effect. I will be making a video where we dive deeper on this over the coming weeks, but I do want to touch on it because it does reinforce my beliefs on the current state of the markets and why, although the past couple of weeks have been pretty bleak, I do think we'll turn around come the new year, and I do think 2023 will be a great year for not only the bulls but for Waves Capital. So, gonna keep this video short and sweet today, you guys. It is the holiday season. Therefore, before we get down to business, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from my family, my Ohana, to yours, and welcome Miss Claus and old Saint Nick himself. It's Saint Nick's first Christmas right here. So, you guys, Merry Christmas. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Couldn't do what we do without you. And yeah, they're gonna go off and eat some milk and cookies. Okay, so again, Merry Christmas, you guys. I hope you have an amazing 3-day weekend. Nice, relaxing 3-day weekend with your family, with your loved ones. Eat some good food, drink some drinks. Mainly give gifts. Getting gifts is cool, but giving them is always funner. So, yeah, you guys just have an amazing Christmas weekend, and I look forward to what 2023 has in store for Waves Capital. Okay, so let's minimize myself. Let's get down to business. Okay, again, this is a casual video. We'll keep this one short and sweet. And before I just started recording this, I just put this on, so I didn't realize it was gonna jingle. So, you know what? We'll jingle all the way through. Anyway, Bitcoin is looking pretty damn stagnant right now. I do actually think that that's a good thing, and I will talk about why that is. But let's once again quickly touch on the January effect, and I also want to touch on one of my recent newsletters, just kind of covering some of the, poor price action that we've been seeing. But I just want to touch on a few of my thoughts around why I think things will begin turning around come, again, the new year, okay? Tax loss harvesting. So, the January effect. Is the January effect a tradable seasonal strategy? Once again, I will be making a video where we read through the entirety of this article. You guys can just go look it up if you want. It's just on Investopedia. It's easy to read. But I do want to make a video where I dive into the entirety of this article and just kind of give my 2 cents or secondary opinions on what this article has to say, because the whole thing's pretty solid. But right now, I just want to touch on what the January effect is, because once again, this is what I would say is, in a sense, the cherry on top of many of my other fundamental beliefs around why the new year will bring more upside and will favor the bulls. Okay, so the January effect is a perceived seasonal increase in stock prices during the month of January. Analysts generally attribute this rally to an increase in buying, which follows the drop in price that typically happens in December when investors engaging in tax loss harvesting to offset realized capital gains prompt to sell off. So good, you guys, as I just kind of quickly implied, fix the suspenders. Tax loss harvesting is where you sell losing positions in order to offset any gains, not necessarily even gains, but even any income that you generated in 2023. It doesn't just have to be in the markets. It can be other income as well, right? If you made money, if you're an entrepreneur, or even if you work just a standard 9-to-5 job, both perfectly fine. If you made income in any way during 2022 and you had a stock position, an options positions, any position involved with the markets, lose you money. Again, say you make 100 grand, you lose 10 grand in the markets. That offsets the payable taxes that you're required to pay down to $90,000. Okay, so it just offsets all the income you made in 2022, and that's why many people, on top of course a flurry of other pretty negative issues, have been selling over the past month or the month of December. Okay. Another possible explanation is that investors use year-end cash bonuses to purchase investments the following month. Unfortunately, I think the Christmas bonuses are going to be a little lighter this year. They're of course still going to be there, so this will still have an effect on the month of January. But again, you guys, it's been hard times, and we have seen that reflected in the markets, not just this month, but the entirety of this year. But again, I just want to talk to you guys about why I think we're much closer to the end than the beginning when it comes to a potential reversal to the upside and really the continuation of the overall bull market that has been in play for, the last century pretty much. All right. Holiday spirits have been crushed. Tax loss harvesting for 2022 is still in play, and most technicals on most charts are leaning heavily bearish with regard to the short term. Extreme levels of fear are also creeping closer on the fear and greed index. We touched on this many times before on the channel. And again, when we get into these extreme zones, the polar ends of any spectrum, not just the fear and greed index, but pretty much anything, when you're on a polar end of anything, that's not a good place to be. And that's where we're getting. We're getting back towards levels of extreme fear. And, that's not good. Come on, man. There we go. Jeez. Okay, so again, we are creeping back on extreme fear. We're not there just yet, but we are getting pretty close. So, this all to say, when the markets are getting fearful, it may be time to practice a healthy amount of greed. Again, the technical uptrends have been shattered and the fundamental backdrop remains bearish, but I still trust that the new year of 2023 will bring a new sense of optimism once all of this 2022 dust settles. So again, you guys, mass layoffs have happened. Specifically in tech, there will be more layoffs inevitably into the year of 2023. But again, tech has gotten routed. Interest rates have been rising. That's the primary culprit. The actions of the Federal Reserve have been the primary fundamental catalyst for not just tech, but the entirety of the markets getting pretty damn clobbered over the past year, of course, with an emphasis on growth tech and small caps. But again, you guys, much of this is derived off of inflationary metrics, CPI data, which does come out next month. At this point, it's very, very difficult to believe, not only technically speaking and analytically speaking, but anecdotally speaking. So just kind of from a first-person perspective, it's difficult to believe that inflation will not be cooling. Once we get these significantly, meaningfully cooler inflationary metrics, we will start to hear more dovish tone from the Fed, especially considering the markets overall have been taking a toll or have been taking a hit. The markets have been getting smoked for the past month as we head into the new year for all of the reasons we just discussed. And it's difficult to believe that heading into the new year, once again, on top of the reasons, the very, very brief reasons that we just mentioned from the January effect. But also from a technical perspective, things are beginning to look very, very oversold. We will take a quick look at the S&P 500. Tesla's actually a really good example. You guys know I'm a pretty notorious Tesla bear, but right now I actually have call options on Tesla for full transparency. And I'm really excited for what the next week as we head into the new year and what the month of January of 2023 has in store. Just for the optimists out there like myself. Okay, so again, just mention those Tesla calls. That is one of probably like 15 to 20 call options I have on deck right now, on top of all of my common share positions, my crypto positions. If you guys want to know what my personal portfolio consists of, if you want to know how I trade personally on a day-to-day basis, as we head into, again, what I think is going to be a really exciting year. On top of my daily newsletters, this is the Trade Alert Part 2 newsletter. Okay, send out a Trade Alert 2, where I talk about more of the macro situation at hand, and then price targets after this. So 3 newsletters every day, every trading day. Once again, during market hours, I give those Trade Alert updates. First link down below, you guys. If you want to join Waves Capital for real, if you want to join the Waves family, if you want to step up your trading and investing game in the year of 2023, again, that's the first link in the description box down below. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. Try it free for 7 days through the new year. And, if you don't like it, just unsubscribe at any time. It's that easy. But I trust you guys will be sticking around. And, welcome to the winning team in advance. Okay, so appreciate you guys checking that out as always. But if not, I do appreciate you watching this as well as always. And I hope you enjoy this Riot and Bitcoin. And again, just kind of scroll down the watches. So we kicked it off with the SPY. Let's just quickly take a look at the SPY. Just talk about kind of the oversold nature of the markets. So you can see here the SPY is looking low, but again, I did just say Tesla. So let's take a look at Tesla. Again, Tesla, for pretty obvious reasons, has been getting punished. Again, The delivery numbers are disappointing. That makes sense. The higher ticket, the more luxury focused consumer is a lot more conservative than they have been in the past for very obvious reasons. Again, Elon Musk, a lot of focus on Twitter. You don't want your CEO getting distracted, which is what's happening. But technically, Tesla is of the most oversold it's been. So let's take a look quickly at where the RSI, or relative strength index, is right now. We are currently at the lowest level we've seen. And again, we haven't gotten lower than where we are now. We're at the lowest level, even going beyond the 2020 pandemic. Okay, so if you see here in March of 2020, Tesla got down to an RSI level of my fat head right here of an RSI, once again, relative strength index of about 24. Currently, we are sitting at an RSI of 19. That is a metric that's rarely seen even in the most oversold small caps and like even shit coins and stuff. Okay, so this is a very, very rare RSI level to see from a daily perspective. And on top of that, we have, as many of you would recognize, reverted to the mean in a sense, retested the initial high of the current bull market rally. Tesla has currently corrected a total of 70% from its all-time high, and just in the past 3 months alone, 60%, just about 61%, based upon current levels at about $1.23. So again, a lot of metrics are pointing me to believe that Tesla is due for a bounce. That's why I picked up some call options on it. And again, I don't really want to make this, this video wasn't even supposed to be about Tesla. I just wanted to kind of relay the message of how oversold certain large caps are becoming in the markets. And even when you look at the SPY once again, the SPY is getting pretty, not super oversold. It could definitely go lower, but the SPY is currently sitting at an RSI level of, about like 44, which is still pretty low given historical means. And although we could go lower, it just doesn't feel like we'll go that much lower, all things considered, okay? Unless a black swan flies into the picture, then maybe, but personally, I don't think we go that much lower across the board. It's always possible once again, but again, the January effect will kick in. That's my belief, and again, we'll touch on this more, really dive deeper on this over the coming week or two. All right, so let's close it out by talking about Bitcoin and Riot Blockchain. Kind of the point of this video, but again, you guys, this was just a casual video. I wanted to get some of my thoughts off here. Bitcoin, I'll just zoom out here, go to where we were, okay? Bitcoin, ultimately, I do think Bitcoin definitely makes its way back up over Q1 of 2023. So say like, like by March, April of 2023, I think it's highly likely that Bitcoin tests this prior low at some point. Okay, so the previous stair step down, dating back to the all-time high we saw in November of 2021, series of longer-term lower highs and lower lows. Again, just that stair step down, that gradual progression lower. We have not yet tested even the candle wick low, the daily candle wick low of this level right here, which spanned from May of 2022 all the way to June. So for a month, we went pretty much sideways, really solidifying that previous floor that should come into play as a new ceiling. Again, I don't know what happens in the short term. I mentioned in the beginning that I do think that this sluggish price action, this slow price action, really this boring price action is a good thing, especially considering there have been many recent sessions where Bitcoin has outperformed. It's still been in the red, but it has not been as red as even the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, the US equity kingpins. So that is a very promising sign when it comes to interest around Bitcoin. The fact that the sellers have been exhausted. Bitcoin, again, is below its 2017 high, so it's below its reversion to the mean levels. And again, Bitcoin's had a very rough year, not only technically, but fundamentally as well. And I do think that the bottom for Bitcoin is in. If we're not falling lower, again, unless a black swan, which is an unforeseeable macroeconomic event, hits, something of great scale, similar to COVID, when COVID shocked the world and the pandemics locked everyone down. Similar to that. But unless that happens, I think, again, the markets are hyper efficient at pricing in foreseeable economic headwinds, and I think the bottom is in for Bitcoin. I don't think we rip to the upside. I don't think the bull market's back, but I do think that the bottom, for the most part, is going to be in, okay? So that's Bitcoin. Let's touch on Riot, and then I'll do just quick strike. I've been doing this every video, but just to close it out, I'll do a quick rundown of the names I'm excited about going into 2023. Riot Blockchain, pretty much because I think Bitcoin is due for a bounce, because I think the markets overall are due for a bounce. I do think that Riot Blockchain, although it's been super bleak lately, I think that Riot Blockchain over the coming week or two, say January 5th is where, or January 6th is where it shows to designate this target. Again, this would be next Friday, the first Friday in the trading week of the new year. So Friday, January 6th. In the case that we test this line of resistance on the downtrend that dates back to August of this year, that would take us to a price of $5.05. And of course, the price action of Riot, the price action of Bitcoin miners is heavily dependent upon the price action of Bitcoin and the greater equity markets like the S&P and like the NASDAQ. So it will be heavily dependent, or the fate of Riot will be heavily dependent on whatever these two, or whatever the culmination of these assets do, of course. But personally, I'm optimistic. I think the new year will bring some good times. I think the new year will bring the bulls back. Bears will be waking up from I guess they're, it's a late hibernation this year, but I think the Bears will be taking it easy come the new year. And again, we'll touch on the January effect more over the coming weeks. But I do think Riot bounces. I think the majority of small caps bounce over the coming weeks, given the oversold technical nature and the tax loss harvesting. Again, we only have a few more trading sessions for investors to realize losses for this tax harvesting purpose. And it's pretty inevitable in my mind, all things considered, that we do see a bounce in January. Maybe this next week going into the new year is red, and that's entirely possible as well. That's why I'm staying hedged as well. Again, I don't only hold call options. I have a pretty meaningful amount of put options on deck as well to hedge any potential losses, even though I am bullish. That's just the responsible thing as far as responsible portfolio construction is concerned. Just a PSA right there. But I am bullish. I'm excited about, stocks in the AI sector. I'm excited about stocks in the space sector. I'm excited about, green energy stocks like we're seeing here. There are many plays that I'm excited about. And I don't feel it's necessary. We're not going to look at any of these, but just look at my watches right here in the top right-hand corner. I'll scroll down. These are some of the names that I'm eyeballing. And again, over the coming weeks, probably this next week, I will definitely be making my top 3 buy and hold stocks of 2023 video. Just really getting ready for the new year. So once again, if you guys want to join Waves Capital for real, that is the first link down below. Please let me know in the comments downstairs what you think about the new year. Are you bullish? Are you bearish as we head into the new year? And once again, Merry Christmas and happy holiday season to you and all your families. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, team.